George W. Bush has entered the fray, and some people are very happy about it. So according to our friend Hannah Trudeau over at the Daily Beast, she reports that Team Trump desperately wants Bush to endorse Biden, and some Democrats love the idea too. I would actually love to see George W. Bush endorse Biden. But what was even better and really caught my eye, Krystal, was a quote from Representative Ro Khanna, who was a former co-chair of the Sanders campaign, who says, quote, "Our task is to build the broadest coalition possible. I began my career in public service running against Bush's war in Iraq in 2004, but no one doubts," this is Bush, "his commitment to tolerance and inclusiveness." Khanna argues that Bush is in a, quote, "different moral league than Trump, particularly in the regard to the latter's fondness for promoting divisiveness and fear-mongering." Again, this is the so-called foreign policy star on the anti-establishment left. I think there's a different moral league between boomer tweeting and invading Iraq and killing over a million.
Oh, my God. I mean, look, obviously, I've been critical. You guys know how I feel about Donald Trump, but you don't have to do this. You don't have to apologize for the guy who lied us into war, killing our people, killing civilians, justifying mass surveillance. And by the way, so much short-term memory loss about how divisive the Bush presidency was on cultural issues. I mean, they went hard after the religious right against gay marriage. I mean, it was a very divisive presidency. Like, how do you just instantly forget that? But it's what we've seen with liberals here. What we've seen really at MSNBC is on display fully their desire to completely rehab these Bush Republicans, to embrace them, and not only that, to actually center the gravity of the entire party around appealing to George W. Bush, Steve Schmidt, Nicole Wallace, the national security state apparatchiks. Like, they have actually geared the party to cater to exactly that group under the theory of basically like the enemy of my enemy is my friend, when these people stand for things that we're supposed to oppose, enacted horrific policies, started wars and lied about it, and torture and Guantanamo Bay and all of that. And you're just like, well, you know, let's let bygones be bygones, right? Of course, they're not the ones living with the fallout from all of those things.
Yeah, they can go and say that to some of my friends who served in the war in Iraq.
Yeah, how about that?
James Carville, Khanna finds himself with the league of, says, "I fought with these guys during impeachment. I even fought with these guys on the Iraq war. I fought with these guys left and right. But we're in a different situation now. We have a deadly pathogen, and we've got to get rid of it. What did Churchill say? If Hitler invaded hell, I would side with the devil." Yeah, that's the same. I mean, you can see over and over again. It's like you said. I mean, people are just trying to align themselves around the party, around this like never Trump, Bush, Nicole Wallace coalition. By the way, he didn't even win the popular vote the first time around. Wasn't that a whole like talking point in the year 2000? I happen to remember it. But broadly, gatekeeping is a very important thing. This is something actually that is important on the right and the left, which is that if somebody from the other side wants to like graft onto you, you don't have to take it. You can say, look, like I'll take the vote, but I hate the guy and he invaded Iraq and he destroyed our country, and plundered our treasure, and ruined the lives of tens of thousands of Americans and of untold numbers of Iraqis. That's not hard to say. But now they want his endorsement. That is deranged.
Right. Yeah. There's also an instinct within Democrats and on the left to like cancel people for certain associations. Like there are certain people on the right you're not allowed to associate with. But this wing that just got us into war, surveillance, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
That, absolutely. Invite them on your program. Let's have a panel. Let's have a civil discussion. Let's be best friends and have a hug. So that sort of, judgment of association and cancellation never goes in that direction, which is also very interesting. But it's more problematic than just, look, let's be clear. A Bush endorsement of Biden, I think today Biden is still very much going to win. I don't think that it splits the Democratic Party that much because Trump has very effectively unified the Democratic Party at this point, and he screwed himself over, is down 14 points in the polls. So let's not get too excited about what that would mean for Donald Trump.
Right.
But I think the more substantive issue, which is something that Perry Bacon Jr. over at 538 actually chronicled really well, is the fact that embracing George W. Bush isn't just about one endorsement. It's about the entire direction of the party and who they want to serve and who they want to cater to and what the implications of that are in terms of a Biden administration and the types of policies and values they're likely to support. As we've discussed on this show before, Virginia's the perfect example, right?
Yes.
Virginia's the perfect example where they have catered to this like white suburbanite who used to be a Republican, who's like a moderate. And so what you end up with is these kind of cultural tokenist policies, things like passing the ERA, things like taking down monuments, Confederate monuments, and at the same time doing literally nothing for workers so that you are still 51st out of 51 in the entire country on workers' rights.
Just
so
too perfect.
That's what the George W. Bush endorsement, in my view, is emblematic of.
You guys want W? You can have them.
Thanks for that, Saagar.
For you after this.